Greetings and very welcome back to my humble neck of the YouTube woods. We are gathered here again today, guys, to blast into, hopefully, swiftly, um, blast into this A to Z gaming challenge that's still running amok across the YouTube realm in the Wii gaming community. Started by RetroRedSteve, of course, and we're on the home stretch now, I believe. It looks like it's going to go all the way and finish at Z, which is brilliant. That's a great success. Fair play, Steve. And I've actually enjoyed it. The longer it's gone on, and the more people have been tagged, and I've come across a few new channels or familiar channels that have got a few different letters, but they've gone for different tactics and different philosophies on picking the games. It's been quite interesting. I'm quite surprised I got tagged in any more, given the last video that I did that got 10. But nonetheless, 3 more have kind of popped in for me that I'm trying to get stuck into now. And the first one, number 11, to tag me was Retro Gamer Knee. And he decided to do something interesting. I can't recall off the top of my head what letter he got, but I'm pretty sure it was quite early in the alphabet. But he decided to tag the 3 nominations with the letter Z. So he went right to the end. He put his own little twist on this, fair play to him. And I shall respect that. And I was pondering the letter Z, and some did spring to mind, to be fair, but none that I had a particular affinity for or fond memories of. I probably liked them, but not majorly. And in the end, I went for a PlayStation 4 title called Zombie. No E at the end of it, just Zombie finishing with an I. I think there might be a funky U on the end of it. It might have started on the Wii. I'm not sure, but I played it on the PlayStation 4. And the reason why I went with this one was that I played it quite early. When I got the PlayStation 4, was one of the early games I got for it. And it was based in the UK, London, I believe. I seem to get flashbacks of Big Ben. And it was interesting because your protagonist that you created and went into the world with, when they died, you would just spawn as a different character, and you'd go back to the location where your other character died, in order to try and get the loot back and the weapons and so on. So that was quite interesting. I'd liken it to a kind of cheaper experience to kind of Dead Island, Dead Island 1 and 2. Except based in the UK, a little bit, not quite a treble A game, but still very fun. There was some interesting enemies. I remember there was like electric kind of phantom zombies and so on. And some of the atmosphere in the game was quite impressive. I'm no stranger to horror games, and I felt certain sections in it were really genuinely creepy, so fair play to them. So yeah, Retro Gamer Knee, thanks for that. And for the letter Z, I went for a zombie. Number 12 to tag us was FeedMeChicken, a really funny lad. I call him Friend Me Chicken. Be nice to chickens, guys. Be nice to all birds, but especially chickens, because they're the most vulnerable and used and abused birds on the planet. So they need as many alloys as they can get. And the FeedMeChicken fellow tagged me with M, and I did already have an M. And it's because I remember that just because it's 2 of my favorite gaming series begin with M, and on the last one I went with one of them. So on this one it was a bit of a no-brainer, a handy one. Thanks for that. I went for Metal Gear Solid, the Metal Gear Solid series, but specifically, I do love Metal Gear Solid, by the way. It's next to Resident Evil. It's I grew up alongside Metal Gear Solid, and a good few of my friends and family. It's kind of the flip. They like Resident Evil, but Resident Evil might be their second favorite, and Metal Gear Solid is first, and vice versa. But yeah, it's just a brilliant game series. To be fair, there's so much. I won't get into it because we all know it's the lore and the storylines are quite complex and convoluted and messy and goofy and silly, but just brilliant as well. Even fairly philosophical and thought provoking in lots of regards. Fair play to Kojima. So I went with Metal Gear Solid 4 specifically. So the guns of the Patriots. which was really, I think it was like the first or second game I had for the PlayStation 3, and I've really fond memories of it. It's not everyone's cup on tea, from what I hear. I remember crying so much throughout the course of that game, seeing, Solid Snake's Old Snake's fate, and they wrap up so many storylines in it, and not all of them are particularly cheerful, or pleasant. But I thought it was a brilliant game overall. Not perfect, but really fun to play, and phenomenal cutscenes. Just it doesn't get enough love, in my opinion. So yeah, it was tight. There was other Metal Gear Solids in the mix as well. Don't get me wrong, but I'm kind of picking ones that I feel are a little bit more divisive. So Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. Thanks, FeedMeChicken. Fair play. And number 13 to tag us was Stewsretroreviews, and he tagged us with the letter O, and O gave me guff. I was actually surprised at how I just could not ponder anything with O, to be honest. Probably because of the recent Greek mythology film on Odyssey that came out, that made me think of Abe's Odyssey, saying that began with A. And then I thought about it more, and I was thinking, actually, isn't it called Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey? So that would be valid. But in the end, I was just being very silly because, a retro game series that I kind of, grew up on as well, I should have thought of straight away. But especially so because Benji's gaming retrospective is actually playing through it, and I've tuned into one or two of his streams, and I've said that this is very nostalgic and it's good to see the series and so on, and that series is Onimusha. I was kind of playing it when I was on that real old school Resident Evil kick, and you got your fixed camera angles, and you got your puzzles, and you got your more samurai demon type action, to be fair. But nonetheless, particularly the first one was very, very old school Resident Evil feeling to me. Old Samanosuke, who I think is a fan favourite. But nonetheless, I went with the one that Benji actually is playing right now at the moment. And that's Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny. Old Jubei. And I really have fond memories of that game because I remember it was one of the earliest games I was introduced to the gift system for your companions. And depending on how they were on your relative scale, how close you were to them, or how much you even disliked you, and that would affect certain cutscenes and affect the ending, which was really cool, And of course, this game has Gogan Dantus, the greatest swordsman of all demons, so special shout out to him. So yeah, Onimusha 2 is what jumped to mind for the letter O. And that seems to wrap all of that up. That's number 13 sorted. 3 extra tags. So I didn't think we'd get a part 2 of the A to Z gaming action, but we did. And nomination wise and tag wise, I'm not going to be as crazy as Retro Gamer Nee. I can't really, can I? Because he tagged me with Z. So that's it. We're finished. Complete. Well done, lads. Congratulations. Happy days. So off the top of my head, just glancing here, O would be furthest down the line, so we'll go with P, yeah? So I had a few kind of channels in mind, because the last time I went for friends and family, there hasn't been much engagement in that at all. I'm going to keep it more traditional now and send it back into the pool, but the idea is, I don't know if these people have been tagged, but they haven't made videos on it yet. I had a quick scan to see if they've made at least one video to do with the challenge, and if they didn't, then they got the nod over someone who did, And first up, I'll go with Aloni Gamer. She's a really sound lass, really nice lass, really funny, great videos. She can do amazing things on Hitman in particular, like crazy stuff. Like the game sometimes can't keep up with the shenanigans that she pulls off in Hitman. It's gruesome and grim sometimes, but hilarious at the same time, She's a master with Agent 47, to be fair. I think she's off the grid at the moment. She hasn't uploaded anything for a wee while. I seem to remember her saying she was helping her parents move, so fair play to her. And if she gets back, she'll have the challenge for the letter P. And next up, because I kind of cut corners with the tagging duties, because I got 10 tags in the last one, and I think I only threw out 4, I shall be cheeky and tag the Shenanigamers. The Shenanigamers are a great group of guys and girls. They're friends, and they're a great laugh. And their production value is really good too, to be fair. They're all good at editing and have quite high quality videos, you know. Each one has their own kind of strengths, to be fair. So this is kind of a cheeky way of tagging the 5 or 6 of them in one, because they have their own channel, Shenanigamers channel, which kind of represents them all as a group. So we shall tag that channel, and they can delegate or fight over whoever wants to represent, or all of them can do it, or whatever. But the Shenanigamers have been hauled into this challenge. I think Blonde Logic might have been tagged, but hasn't actually made a video yet. But as for all of the rest of them, they definitely haven't made a video either. So, Shenanigamers. And last but not least, a lad I haven't seen post in a wee while, Papa Bear Gaming. I'm not sure how long it's been now, but I just haven't seen him pop up. And that may be on me. I did just glance to see if he got involved in the A to Z Gaming action so far. So, you know, a really nice lad. Been in touch with him on and off over the years on YouTube, you know, sound. And we could all do with his dad joke bombardments from time to time, to be honest. You know, that's always cool. So yeah, the nominations will be Aloni Gamer, Shenanigamers, and Papa Bear Gaming for the letter P. And that is it, guys. I shall love yous and leave yous. I have enjoyed this challenge, by the way. Really have, Steve. Fair play to you. And I really hope it does go all the way and finish at Z. You know, good community effort. Fair play. So yeah, I'm gonna head off swiftly because it's busy times. And I love yous and leave yous. Look after yourselves and each other. Be kind to all kinds, and slán a bhaile.